this move could be the start of something really big. Bitcoin just reacted from a critical monthly support zone, and for the first time in days, the chart shows that this could be the bottom. But the key is really simple here. We must get back above $94,000. Let me show you what I'm doing next and why this is so important. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome back. We jump directly into the charts. Let me grab just this here really quick. We will not waste a lot of time here today because this will be a really long video, and I want still to try this to make it as short as possible, but we have a lot to talk about here. First of all, guys, you know the drill. Smash up the like button so more people will come into the live stream here. So Twitter is down, you know, so I don't know if you saw that, but Twitter is down. So a lot of traffic actually comes from Twitter for my live streams, but Twitter is not working right now. So I hope we're gonna get here some more people in. Yeah, there are some more coming. Smash up the like button. So here, what happens right now on the Bitcoin chart? So on the daily chart, I don't need to remind you that we got here the death cross, and with the death cross, as you can see here, Bitcoin just decided to nuke to the downside. But we have hit here a really crucial level at $89,000, and I spoke about this, that this is really important, that we are getting a reaction from there if we would actually come down all the way to this level. So now on the way up, I will show you here in a moment why this golden ratio is one of the key levels that we need to reach here in the next coming days after $94,000. So, but first I wanted to show you that Bitcoin is not out of the norm here, dropping to the downside, and that the correction is still a smaller correction than the previous correction that we saw here in Bitcoin, because the previous one was 34%, as you can see here, and it took 113 days to get out of this correction. And now we saw on the low point 29.09%, and it took 43 days from the top to the bottom of that correction, the current bottom of that correction, to play out here over that whole over that whole period. So, but something that piqued my interest today was the angle in which the Bitcoin price dropped here to the downside, and this angle is really sharp compared to here the previous one. Let me just see here that you can see this here over there. This angle is not as sharp to the downside like this one here. So this one here is way smoother on the way down. So did we go for a longer extended period down here? Yes, but it doesn't really change the fact that the downwards move was here way more aggressive. And usually when you see this, when you see a more aggressive move to the downside, also the reaction at some point is really aggressive back to the upside for a relief bounce. So, and this is what we are potentially seeing here right now. We are seeing a relief bounce, which is currently, so now I have to reframe this correctly. So currently, if we close the daily candle as it is, or even potentially go a little bit higher, and the next candle is pushing again into higher levels here, potentially already to $94,000, then this might mark the local bottom for now, until this whole relief rally has played out. And from there we need to see wherever this is going to stop, if this was just a relief bounce and we get rejected here from this downward sloping trend line, which is now a major resistance, and continue lower and have just a lower high here, or if we're actually able to break this and get continuation. On the weekly chart here, we have broken monthly key support currently, but the week is not done yet. We are just 1.5 days in the week. So this is a level that needs to be reclaimed and is around $93,500 currently sitting. And the underlying line in the sand that I called here many times that way was the one that actually led to here a bounce of $2,000 right now. $2,000 is not that bad, but not substantial enough to confirm that this is now, let me put it this way. This is now the moment where the tide is shifting and we are completely blowing back to the upside. So, but as long as here, this level is holding the $89,000 level, everything is still fine. You know, lose that level, things start to look way, way worse and more bad than they did yesterday. But for now, that is a good sign that this level held and we are pushing back to the upside. The other thing that I see here over and over again on Twitter right now is that people call already, okay, the bull market is over. And this is usually exactly the moment where the bull market is not over. And I'm going to show you later with an altcoin that this bull run is not over. You will never think that this altcoin is related to it, but I said this yesterday to one of my clients that I was on a call with, one of my mentorship clients. I have seen the same playbook happening in 2020, December 2020 was when I saw the same playbook happening. Let's see, website's not working. Is this in Russian? I can barely read this because my screen, this screen is a little bit broken, so I have to copy this over here. This is Russian, huh? Yes, this is. Getting fixed, Paul, is getting fixed. So no worries, you know, it should work in an hour again, kinda. So again, so I told my client, same playbook I've seen in December 2020, just a month before I bought Pancake, because I lost like 6 figures in 2020 while I was in the Maldives. And the problem was that I could, wait, let me actually switch back here quick. I did not understand why the strategy that I was using wasn't working anymore. It worked like for 3 years. You know, 3 years I was making money printing like crazy, but it stopped working in December 2020. And I was working for a company there where I provided signals, and then my signals were shit, you know, and I was like, what's going on? So I changed some things, did not help. Because the market was like crazy, you know, you could not trade. It was like a market that you cannot trade. And this here right now feels exactly the same way like it did 5 years ago in December 2020, where you think you cannot really make good trades or hold trades because there's so much volatility in the market that you get wicked out, stopped out, liquidated, whatever, and really, really hard to trade. And then I had today a look at one specific altcoin. Like I said, I'm going to show you that in a moment. And that confirmed what I thought, that we are actually in a fractal of December 2020, just before everything starts running, and that includes also Bitcoin. So, but now let's get back here to the chart for a moment. So here on the weekly chart, you see that here in correlation to the daily chart that I just shown you here before, the golden ratio, the 1.618, is exactly at $89,200. This is also the exact level that we went down here before price started to bounce. So we got here a reaction from this level, which is a bullish sign, but now we need follow through. Follow through will happen when we break $94,000. That's why I'm calling $94,000 as the most crucial level that we need to watch right now for a continuation move here back to like $100,000. But even if we get that move here on a weekly chart, I don't believe that we are, even if we would close the next weekly candle at around $100,000, the next one will pull back again, and then only the following one will continue to move into the EMA ribbon here. So that it would be really, really crazy to see the next kind of straight pumping here all the way up to the top of the EMA ribbon, and the next kind of just keeps going like this. I don't think that this is going to happen because, like, again, it's the 2020 playbook playing out here, and it will be slowly. You know, we will go up here, then we come down a little bit, then we go up a little bit again, then we're in the EMA ribbon, then we start to go above it. We fail the first time, we come back a little bit. It will be a really slow grind into next year, in my opinion, before you're going to see a move like this here again. So, but this is fine because altcoin's going to do well in that time. So, and this is what I'm focusing right now on, because now I understood what was fucking wrong with the market the whole time, you know, because I was looking at the wrong thing. So, and now, something else that I had a look at was the RSI on the weekly chart. So yes, we broke here the area from where we usually bounced over the course of the last 2 days. So, but last 2 years, sorry. But when were we the last time in such low areas here? So the last time where we were in such a low area here, so I want also to show you this here, in a bull run, you know, I have to mention that in a bull run, it's like kind of here. You know, in July 2021. So if I go, can I go further back? No, I think it will not show me any further than that. Yeah, let's take this here then. So July 2021. So afterwards, we got here a massive run back to the upside, and that was the run into the all-time high in 2021. So here was, see here, December, there was a peak, then we came down. So we have here now a different scenario, but the same thing that remains here is when we enter these lower levels, you get a big reaction back to the upside. So because this is slightly oversold right now, the weekly chart here on the RSI, because we are at 38. Anything between 35 and below is massively oversold. So we are approaching oversold territory, and I believe that with this week's weekly candle, if we are staying just around the level where we are right now, then we're actually going here lower on the weekly RSI, but gonna see at the same time like a turnaround, something like this, you know. So where we're getting really close to like 35 or slightly into 35, but then you see here a turn like this already, you know, and then you know, okay, so if now the next weekly candle pushes to the upside, you get the turn, and then you know, okay, reversal is in full swing here. On the daily chart, also the falling wedge pattern is something that you should not ignore, and this is something, if you're here around for a while already, we have seen this over and over again in bull runs. I should have brought up one from the past where we had a similar scenario. Let me maybe see if we can find really quickly here. I think in 2020 or 2021 is when I saw this with a falling wedge here, where we fell out of it briefly and then came straight back into it. Here. Yeah. So here, okay, so we had here a lot of wicks, but look what happened here just before we broke out to the upside. So, and that's the same thing that I think is happening right now. Here, fake out, pump back into the falling wedge, massive run to the upside. So I don't believe that we get such a crazy run now to the upside. So, but I think that the current candle here is the fake out, and then by tomorrow we are back in the falling wedge pattern. And like I said, that could go like to $94,000, to the level exactly that we need, where we currently have resistance, and we're gonna face resistance there. And then over the next coming days, we're gonna try to break out of that. Something that I should mention here, the breakout out of that falling wedge pattern, that could be volatile. That could be a big break. You know, that could be a $4,000 or $5,000 candle potentially when this is happening, because it's such an extensive amount of time that we are already trending here to the downside, basically since the 10th of October. So when we get then over such extended period, contraction and compression, then expansion is always what follows next. So and when you know something about the power of three, this could be here your manipulation before you get here distribution again to the upside. Now, not this chart, this one here. So the MDX algo scalp gradients also showing us now massive signs that this is a local bottom. So how do I determine that? Because I told you guys when we got here, this plot here, I said this is an early bullish divergence sign, an early reversal sign. So then we went a little bit lower yesterday, and now we have two take profit points dot plots. When you get two take profit point dot plots, this always marks the bottom. We never go lower than when you have two of these take profit dot plots. I can also show that here in the past where we had two together. Let me just try to find this quick here. Where we had two. Not really two together, but they were close to each other. Where did we had the last time two together? There's one. Here is one. No. See, it was a while ago, you know, when we had two together, because it's rare that they are happening together. But when they are so close together, it always marks a strong bottom with continuation to the upside. Also, only one here. Where are we now? We are in March. So here's similar. It's similar. We did not get two, but you see here 4 dot plots, including the take profit, and then we reverse back to the upside. So, and this is something similar what we are seeing right now, just that, like I said, we have two take profit dot plots together currently in the price. And from here, I definitely see now more upside. So how much upside do I see? Nothing really changed here. Now my target is $96 $6,600 on this specific trade, roughly 6% to the upside. Entry is right now, guys. So if you want to trade Bitcoin, this is right now the entry for that relief bounce trade. You know, so if you don't enter here in the next hour, I would say, you will be too late. You know, so you can enter this here all the way up to the daily open at $92,100, which is another 1% move. But after that, I would not enter this anymore, you know. So this is like the last moment where I would enter this to take full advantage here of that swing back to the upside. So, and we should also not ignore that we have here a shit ton of green candles in alignment with all of these take profit signals, marking here a local bottom. So if you want to trade, guys, do this on Weex. I actually wait for a transfer to get more money here on my trade, on my account. I need to relog in here. So, but if you want to sign up there, trade with me together. This trade, guys, $30,000 worth of sign-up bonuses here on Weex. If you bind your phone and your email address and download the app, you get $400 absolutely for free. And I need to move the camera out of here. If you then deposit another if you deposit then on top of that $500, you get another $400, which is $800 for free in total. And you will get access then to my free Telegram group, which is private, but only if you deposit $500, and reach out on Telegram or Twitter when it's working again, amcryptoalex, or email info@amcrypto.us, and send me your UID number. So, and just to show you, well, now I'm on the wrong screen. Just to show you that we are making bank here, and today caught again one of the best runners in the market, just today. And that was not a long time ago. I called ASTER just before it broke out today. So we're going to talk about ASTER here in a moment. So here, first take profit hit, and then within like 2.5 hours, we made here 8.36% profit without leverage. You know, with leverage, of course, we use leverage. So my recommended is 5x. So you would have made in the best case, in like the base case, over 40%. You know, so if you used more leverage, you would have made way more. Like 20x leverage, some degens in that group, you know, they made over 160% on that trade. So, so just to show you that we find the gems here. We find the gems, and the only thing that you need to do is sign up on Weex or on Tapit. If you cannot use Weex, deposit $500, send, of course, with the links in the description, and send me the UID. You know, so and then you're gonna get access to that channel. Now, the liquidation levels. Liquidation levels. There's only shorts left, you know, there's only over-leveraged shorts left. That's all that's still there, you know, so, and look at this big cluster here. Do you want to tell me on the way up, we're not taking out this cluster right now, all the way up to $98,000? So this is the most obvious trade right now in the market, I think, you know, so there's nothing more obvious than that trade with so much liquidity in this area up here, because there's absolutely nothing. Look here, there's nothing. What should I aim for? For like 5x leverage positions that are down here, or 3x leverage positions, like perma long positions that can just add more margin and move their stop losses lower? No. So we go up here, take out all the over leveraged short liquidity, and then we're gonna reassess. You know, by the 98,000. What is this? $98,600 is an obvious target right now, which is in alignment with the 50 moving average here. You know, so where we potentially could face a rejection once we are getting there. Back to like 96, you know, something like this, then sideways, forming an ascending triangle. And then you get the next leg to the upside to take more liquidity out. And look here, people that had shorts all the way up here at $105,000, or at least they had a liquidation price there, they moved out. They closed their positions because they know what's coming. You know, so if you're an experienced trader, you have seen this many times playing out before, where we go in such a sharp angle down, then you get here a bottom wick, which is basically, I call it the nail in the coffin for a reversal, and then you get a V-shaped reversal to the upside. On the liquidation heat map, we see the same thing. All the liquidity that has built up over the last 2 weeks is here all the way up to $98,500, $600 approximately. So there is here one level, 93,170. That's yeah, the closest to the current price action. But like where market makers really aim for is here. That's where they make the money. You know, when they push price, move price into this area here. That's where we are heading next. Now the Bitcoin dominance is finally also making moves, We were waiting for this so long, but did I not call it, guys? I did say this here looks for me like continuation, and I was expecting a bigger move here to the downside. Now it finally happened. So I got so much shit for this, you know, so that people were saying, oh no, the dominance does not drop, you know, it most likely gonna make another attempt here. No, finally it's dropping, which is again another sign for me that this 2020 playbook is here in full swing, because the same thing happened also there, just different numbers, you know, but the same thing all over again. So here I'm waiting now that we are breaking the 59% level and close a couple daily candles below that, because once we are doing this, that's it, guys. You know, so this marks the early stage of the altcoin season that we are waiting for. Regardless of what Bitcoin does, it doesn't matter. Go sideways, go up, go in circles, go down, doesn't matter. You know, so this is the start of the altcoin season if you position yourself in the right altcoins. So, and we're gonna talk about the right ones here in a second. The USDT dominance broke here a crazy level, the 5.92% level, but topping formation right now. So also here, by tomorrow, I expect that the USDT dominance is again below this level, will give relief to Bitcoin to go higher, while the USDT dominance is going lower. Total free market cap here perfectly forming and shaping up the W formation that we were talking about. Also here we need now follow through to the upside to confirm this. But we have already like two-thirds of it. Now we just need this final leg to complete here to go back to $984 billion, which then again puts a lot of buy pressure on altcoins. If we add here basically almost $100 billion to push here to the upside, you know. So, but we have seen this also many times before, that this can happen in a matter of like 2 days. You know, every day is like 40 billion, then another 60 billion, and we are already up there. I think I showed yesterday the target for this, so but now we have actually a little bit more leeway. Yeah, it's a little bit higher than yesterday, so it's close to, yeah, it's $1.13 trillion is now the target, since we have here a better understanding where the bottom here, these two bottom candles are. Ethereum already on its way back up. We are here in a falling broadening wedge currently, and this is also a reversal pattern leading to a bigger breakout to the upside. So here the breakout target for this, if we keep pushing higher, would be $3,300 approximately to $3,400. So this is the target range. So from where would I enter this? You should normally wait for the breakout, but I think when the breakout is coming here, it will be a really violent one, and you will miss the opportunity to enter this. So, and here I'm gonna front run this trade personally a little bit, but I do it from a conservative level, and this is all the way up here at $3,090 is the level where I would enter this, because it is technically the mid-range of this falling broadening wedge. So we did not get here all the way down to $2,743 unfortunately. So, but I hope some of you guys were able to catch here some moves when we were breaking into lower levels. But here, this setup at 3,156 still valid. You know, if you want to wait for this, you can do this. This is the safest entry that you can get. If you want to front run this by like 2%, then take here the other entry. Solana, I've said it many times, Solana is most of the time one of the coins that is front running the market right now. It was in the last cycle, it was Ethereum. This cycle, it is Solana. So here, also crucial level that we need to reclaim is $140 to $142 and break this downward sloping trend line. So here we got a fake out on the RSI where we broke this uptrend, which was here leading our bullish divergence, but in the end it still played out, you know. And also here you see falling broadening wedge on the 4-hourly chart currently. So this can get here one more touch here at like, yeah, roughly $140, and I think then it's going to break out. So here I would wait for a breakout because the RSI is going sideways a little bit. The stochastic is soon a little bit overextended, and only the MACD is basically pushing it a little bit, you know, so, and holding the current level. So, but because he has so much sell orders up here, look here, there's over $1 billion worth of, actually over $2.5 billion worth of sell pressure in this cluster here. So here you see that 1,382 million, 1,241 million there. So this is over $2.5 billion worth of sell orders sitting here that we need to eat through to push price above $142. So which is insane, that amount of liquidity, even for Solana. So that's why be a little bit careful and just wait that we break this downward sloping trend line first. AVAX, here I lowered a little bit the entry level based on that we continue to move here lower. So currently the best level to enter is at $15, so which is a 3% move to the upside. Stop loss at $14.56, so a little bit higher than the current price. But this current candle, if I zoom in here a little bit, could be also marking a reversal candle on the daily chart. So if this flips green, then tomorrow most likely we're gonna see a reversal candle to like $15.50, $16, something like that. So, and you're gonna find the best entry for this on a 15 minutes chart. So what you want to look at here, so let me see here, $15.05. So when you go up here, $15.05, look at this. I don't even need to take here the horizontal line tool to understand that here this is a key level, you know. So when you see a break above this on a 15 minutes chart and we close a 15 minutes candle above this, you enter, because it's gonna send straight away from there. Then ASTER, like I said, that was one of the trades that I called today. This I basically called that pump before it happened in the group, and I can also show that. Can I? Let me see if I can show that to you guys, that I called this before it happened. Yeah, I actually can. I actually can. So I just want to show you guys that we are always cooking here. So I just need to make screenshot. Don't want to leak here what's going on in my Telegram. So, but I'm gonna I'll scroll here up. So there, screenshot. There. So now I can show it to you guys. So let me just get the screenshot up. So there we go. So there. So I said here, ASTER is one of the few set of coins that has steadily held its price and went partially higher over the last 3 days. Gives me early pancake swap vibes. I think I don't need to remind everyone how much money I made with Pancake in 2021. Do with this whatever you want, but I start buying ASTER here for the long term. Actually, also let's look for a quickie here. So then I gave the trade, and now when you look at the timestamp, that was 7:11 on UTC time. So so yeah, 7:11 over here. So I go into a 50 minutes chart. So just that you see. So here, 7:11, 1 minute. So here. There. That's when I called it. So yes, we went here, what is this, 1% down before we broke. But here, this is when I called it. Said get in. Do it now. When we break 125, you get in. So here, many got in. Then we got one more leg down. Then bam, only sending. So this is how we trade with sniper precision in that group, guys. So, and as you can see here, since then, we went a little bit higher than the overall target. Now, ASTER is consolidating on a 15 minutes chart. So you can argue that this is here a bull flag. You can also argue that this is here a pennant. You know, it doesn't really matter to me, because overall I know that this is gonna break once more and we'll go here to $1.47. So if you want to trade ASTER, especially here, look, oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna trade this right now again. Where do I have money? I think I have money there. So I will not even wait, because I know from the indicators this looks like ready to go again. So, but I need here isolated. Maybe, no, let's see, how much percentage is that? So you guys also do a live trading, so 10% move to the upside. I think I want more leverage for this. Yeah, so that sounds good. So there, and then 147 is where I take my money out. Bam. So I'm in this trade. Let's see, 147. Yeah, that sounds nice. So 147, because this looks ready to go again. The 30 minutes chart also just started, but also looks like it wants to push. 1 hourly coming down here a little bit, but Weex, a lot of Weex to the downside, which is a good sign. That means there's a lot of buy pressure right now on ASTER to send it higher. So here, worst case that I see happening here, we come down a little bit further, but not much, not below $1.30. And then you're going to get the breakout to the upside, past $1.40. I think on the daily chart it was also, no, that's not looking good. 12 hourly was looking good. That was the other chart. So yeah, I'm here already a little bit up on this. Also just going to show that. I know the stream is again super long here. So there, just 3% up currently, but it's running. It's running, making money. So now let's talk about why I believe that we are in a cycle like 2020 and that many things are repeating here, like in that cycle. Because I looked at Pancake. Unfortunately, I cannot pull up the BUSD chart anymore because there was way more history than what you have with the USDT chart. The USDT chart came out in February, but there was price action prior to like early December, late November on the BUSD chart, which we don't have right now. So, but look at this. So let me move myself here again a little bit out of the way. Look at this. This looks completely identical where ASTER is right now. Completely identical. So you cannot say anything else. This looks the same. So now ask yourself, why does it look the same? It's the same guy behind both, you know, so kinda. So because when I found Pancake, CZ basically was the one kicking off basically the run of Pancake by backing it. And now with ASTER, he did the same thing. The difference is he was way earlier on Pancake. No, he was later on Pancake than on ASTER. So if he would have came out now to back ASTER, ASTER would have looked way better than what it actually does now. You know. So but Playbook still the same. You know, look what happens afterwards. Whoop 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 whoop. We go up. You know, then we pull back a little bit. Then we go higher. So then look here. So trust me, this is like here. The peak, the first peak here will come. You're gonna see here a big move in January, February. That's what we're gonna see here, a big move in ASTER, like a $200-300 move, a $2-3 move, where ASTER's gonna trade at. So and at the same time, altcoins were running like crazy. You know, so it was not only Pancake. Pancake was one of the best performing ones. Not gonna lie, with a couple of other coins, but like in this time we were making crazy money, you know. So and it's the same playbook all over again. And if you go back to 2017 and 2020, and you look, when did altcoins start to run? Really run for an altcoin season? Always beginning of December is when they basically mark the final bottom or a local bottom, and then they started running like crazy. So and we keep forgetting about this. You know, we keep forgetting every cycle. We keep forgetting that, yes, of course, you can accumulate in the bear market, make there already a bunch of money, you know, if you get in early enough. But if you want, especially if you want to leverage trade, then right now in December, you know, which is not far away, that is the moment where you want to build your leverage positions, you know, your long-term leverage positions for that short window of the altcoin season that we usually get. So, and that's why I'm starting next month, especially if I see this here continuing the way that it looks right now here on ASTER, I will start building massive positions into December and through December for next year, because if I'm right here, and I think I am right, so it's really rare that like with these macro outlooks I'm wrong, but it happens that I'm sometimes wrong. But here I'm again the same. I have the same conviction that I had with Pancake. Everybody called me crazy that I put $1 million into Pancake when I did, you know, so but I was making from the staking so much money. But when it started to go up, you know, it 2x'd, it 3x'd, it 5x'd, and my friends were still sidelined, you know, and they're like, it will come down, and it just kept going and going and going, and I got richer and richer and richer. This, I see here the same thing again, you know, exactly the same thing. This looks too identical to not play out. Almost identical, not exactly identical, but almost identical in my opinion. So, and this was the precursor for many altcoins also to run at the same time. And one other altcoin that, or actually two that I want to give you before I'm leaving here today. One of them is Sui. On a weekly chart, completely oversold right now. So this is so close to a bottom, it's not funny anymore, you know. So, and also here it holds a major multi-month support level currently. Here at $1.55, that's from where we bounced off. The RSI is going sideways. The MACD is massively still here in sell momentum, but the stochastic is crazy overextended in oversold conditions. So while the RSI also is here scratching on oversold conditions. So this might be the bottom for Solana, for Sui. And I mean like a generational bottom, you know, so you're not going to see this. If this weekly kind of closes as it is, and the next one starts to go back above $2, you will not see here this level ever again for like, I don't know how many years, you know. So maybe in the next bear market, you're going to see it again. But until then, you're not going to see it. And I think that Sui will run then past $10 so quick. You will miss it, you know. So if you not start to act here soon. For a spot back, I would buy it right now, you know. So for a leverage back, I would still wait, you know, because even $2 would be not too late to run this here into insane profits if this is actually marking here a multi-month bottom currently. So the next one that you need to pay attention to, and let me just do here something quick, just want to make sure that I walk away here with money in any case. So there we go. So there's one more, and that is hype. Am I here? No. Where's all my drawings? Oh, I actually need to, first of all, switch to a different chart. Yeah, that looks way better. Yeah. So hype is one of the few coins that's also outperforming the market right now. So, or so to speak, Bitcoin. So, and why is that? And that is something that I unfortunately only today, the cent dropped for me for hype. And it was so stupid, it was so obvious when I thought about this that I did not think about this earlier. What do you think happens when the market crashes and you're trading on Hyperliquid? What do you think is happening with all the fees that are generated there? When I tell you what it is, it's so stupid that and so simple that you think like, how could I not see this? You know, so Hyperliquid is doing buybacks of their own token with all the money that they make from fees. Doesn't matter, liquidations, opening positions, whatever. But of course, liquidation events boosts the fee generation for them. You know, so and that means they have like basically a surplus on their average amount that is coming into Hyperliquid. So that is massively helping Hype, first of all, to hold price, you know, so really important that it holds price every single time when the market nukes. And that's why it's not nuking as much as other coins, because they immediately start buying back. So, and then at some point there's enough buy pressure to just push it up, you know. So, and that's why we should keep here a really close eye in the future from now on Hype and start playing this, you know. So when you see a massive liquidation in the market and you think that we potentially have hit the bottom, you know, and now look at this, you know. So even when here, okay, this is now a 10% move, of course, you know, I'm not going to ignore the fact that this is here 10% move, you know, that happened here 2 weeks ago. to market the lowest low. But just look here yesterday. How low did we go? $37. And we hit here a strong support level. We could have longed it from there because even the candlesticks, candlesticks were printing here an obvious reversal pattern on the 4-hourly chart. And even if you would have entered here from 38.86, you would be up here now 7% roughly on the current move, and you could still ride this higher, because if it breaks here $43, the next level is like almost $50 again. It's another 10% move from here. So yeah, so that is unfortunately something that I only understood today, and of course in hindsight when the move already happened now. So but next time I'm smarter. Sorry, the camera turned off again because it's running too hot here once more. So I'm coming back now. So there I am again. Well, yeah. So here we are again. Yeah. So next time we are smarter when it comes to this, and taking then full advantage. So it will hit a key support level, print a reversal pattern, and then continues to run up. So here right now I would completely ignore all the indicators besides the RSI. So and only when the RSI hits here like 80%, that's where I would start selling this. So would I enter this right now? Right now I'm not so sure. And also I want to have a look here in the chat. Whoa, crazy. Actually, this is not bad to enter this right now from where it is, but I want to see a little bit more confirmation. Let's see if, yeah, no, this is crazy. So I entered this here on another account now right now. Let's see here. By the way, ASTER is running, so I hope you got in that, because this is running right now. And then let me get here. But I see hype is a little bit struggling here to move higher. Let me see. What's the 1 minute saying? Oh no, I should wait. So 1 minute says wait a little bit based on the indicators. 5 minutes also says maybe okay. Maybe I have to wait here 20 minutes because it's coming down a little bit. But like I think in 20 minutes, if it hits here like $40.70-ish, so it goes like 1.5% down, I think that is a good level from where I'm gonna long this later after the stream. Guys, thank you first of all that so many people of you guys are here. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. ASTER is pumping. Called it again. So I called it earlier in the group. Now I call it again. I told you guys this is running. And it will keep running. Trust me, guys. This is running here now like $2.50 really quickly. So, but I have some calls that I need to attend here in a minute. Yeah, a little bit more than a minute, but I have to go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and now my screen got off, but I'm still here. But I'm gonna see you again tomorrow.